What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trailer Park Live right here on the 2nd Street Marvel, where we're coming at you live every time I get a chance to. Used to be here on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the little bell so you get all those notifications and all that good stuff. Don't act like you don't know how this is done. And you want to do that because, you know, sometimes, hell, I don't even know when I'm going to go live. But I can tell you it's probably going to be a little bit more often than it has been here recently. And I'll get into a little bit of that here in just a few minutes. Tonight we've got some fun stuff to talk about. What a week it's been, right? It's been one hell of a week. I mean, we've got The Mandalorian, the season finale happened this week, right? You know, I'm sure all of you lovely people in the chat's got a chance to watch that, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about Jonathan Majors and some of the things going on there. We're going to talk about some of the other things I've been up to, as well as all the entertainment that a place like Twitter can provide. You know, I know that there's plenty of people out there who are of the opinion like, oh, Twitter's so terrible, it's so toxic. And, well, I mean, yeah, so is Facebook, so is Instagram, so is whatever social media platform you want to be on, no matter what. If you're looking for toxicity, you're going to find it. I mean, mainly because if you're looking for toxicity and stuff like that, you'll find it, right? Because that's what you're looking for. If you're looking to have fun, you'll find it. I can guarantee you. You just have to look, and if you look hard enough. Some things are easier to find than others. Obviously, when it comes to things like toxicity and negativity, it's a lot easier to find. You know why? Because people react to it. People engage with it more. When you're toxic or being negative about something, what's it do? It makes people emotional, and they have to react, whether it's good or bad. Which I think is something that's kind of funny coming out of so much of the things out there today. You know, I was on Twitter the other day. Obviously that's where I hang out more. I don't get on Facebook anymore or anything like that. And I don't get on Instagram enough either, but it's just so funny. Everybody out there will look for every little reason to look for to like what somebody being negative and those kinds of silly things out there like that. Like, look, man, if you got a tough time with stuff like that, you know, you probably shouldn't be on the internets. That's how the internet is. And remember one thing, the internet always wins. The internet always wins. But thank you all so much for being here today. And before I get into everything else, please make sure, as I said, if you are, if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe, click the little bell and all that good stuff. And if you do like what you're seeing in this live stream and some of the videos that I've been thinking about doing here, and I may have time to here pretty soon, and you would like to support the channel with your hard-earned dollars, feel free to send a super chat. Or you could become one of the Myrtle Maniacs, one of our channel members. Now, one of the things I do for our channel members is I occasionally get to doing some live streams, but I also do some giveaways as well, where one of the things I do with the money that I get here from the channel is I put that money into crowdfunding comics so I can go out there, check out some different projects going on. There's several different projects I have backed right now, and some of those things I even do giveaways of, because occasionally we get some of the creators who have some pretty good deals on books, things I just can't pass up, just like this one that I'm getting ready to do a giveaway for one of our channel members here very, very soon. And this is Lady Death Diabolical Harvest. This is chapter 16, right? Chapter 16? Chapter 16 of Lady Death in the Coffin Comics universe. Now, I will be giving this premiere edition away to one of our channel members. To get entered, all you got to do is be a channel member. These books are absolutely great. Brian Polito and the whole team over there doing these books, they work hard, and they service their customers, man. They're absolutely great. If you haven't ever checked out any of their books, you can check some of them out in your local comic book shop if they order any of them, or you could even have them pre-order some for you through the Previews magazine. Just let them know. Usually that's about 2 months ahead of time. Or you could go over to Kickstarter, check out Coffin Comics, go back some of their books. Now, I will say the one thing is these guys are the gold standard of crowdfunding comics. They get funded every single time, but they also have stretch goals along the way. You get all kinds of little goodies and things that go along with that when you back their projects, and there's plenty of cool things that come along with that, especially for something like this, which I believe is usually like 48 pages or so, sometimes a little more, of this nice prestige format book. You can see there it's square bound, right? It's square bound. Very nice stuff. Good story, great art, absolutely great customer service over there. And I'm telling you, you got to check these out. We've had some past winners who have enjoyed getting some of these books in their mailbox. Our most recent one was Jared Dyer, one of the Myrtle Maniacs. But also, one of the other things I'm going to be doing here very soon as well is also, you know what? I got to do something really quick. Sorry. I got to do this. There we go. All right. One of the other things I'm going to be doing is for at the end of this month, for a couple of our channel members, is giving away these copies of Lady Death Rules Volume 1 and Volume 2. These are trade paperbacks that contain, this one contains 3 of the premiere, basically the stories, and I believe this one has 4 stories collected in them. Absolutely great stuff. Now, I will tell you, I found these books were same place that you can find them without having to go back them on Kickstarter or anything like that. You can go visit coffincomicsshop.com, and they have a lot of these books on there for sale. If you didn't back them through their Kickstarter campaigns, you can buy them there directly from the good folks at Coffin Comics. They are, once again, very good at their customer service. But these ones, they actually have what they call the catacombs. And what the catacombs is things that they find in their warehouse that have, maybe the slightest of damages. Like this one right here. I can't even remember where this one is at. It's on here somewhere. There's like somewhere on here there's like a little indentation where it kind of got a little scratch on the cover of it. And this one is the exact same. This one I could see it. You could probably see it here through the plastic. It's like right there. You see that? Oh yeah, see how the light is kind of reflecting on? Right there. But they have these things for $10. They're discounted for $10, where these trades usually go for, I believe, about $25. And that's a pretty good deal. When I seen they had these there for $10 each, I couldn't pass that deal up to not be able to get these for giveaways for some of our channel members for their support. For supporting their channel with their hard-earned dollars. Thank you guys so much once again for all of your support. Let's get here into the live chats before I start flapping my gums. We'll get here into the live chats and see what you all are saying and see who all is here today. I see we've got my man RC Scott in the building, who I know is the last drive-in over? Is it already over and you're here hanging out with us now? Thank you so much for being here, RC Scott. I see we've also got Lucas Texvenger in the building, my man, as well as StarWarsMCU-OG. Yes, some very great people. We've also got Mike Popcorn Porter. Yeah, all right. And The View with Drew. Thank you so much for being here. We've also, we've got a 99-cent super sticker from a man, Mike Popcorn Porter. Thank you so much. He's also got a 33-month member chat that says, good to see you again, man. Good to see you, Mike Porter. I know I've gone live a few times here recently, probably at times when you weren't expecting it, and you missed the live streams, and it's okay. You know what? I, of all people, just as you all do, understand that life happens. Sometimes you miss those notifications. Maybe you ain't got them turned on. Maybe you do, but maybe you need to go over there on that little bell and click all, so you get all those notifications when my beautiful face decides to go live. And let's not forget about that buttery smooth voice. Oh yes. Thank you so much for being here, Mike Porter. Also with a $2 super chat says, this is all I can afford, Skippy. all, all good, man. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate all of your support, Mike Porter. Definitely been here for 33 months. Been here the whole time since we've launched our channel membership. So definitely thank you for all of your support, Mike Porter, as well as everybody else in the chat. I see we've got Aggressively Relaxing here, as well as Eric the Guapo. My man. I've actually met this man. He is local here to my area. Very good dude. Very good man. Thank you so much for being here as well. So what are you saying? Whoa, what in the Sam Hill? You're going on Friday again? Yes. Today I'm going on Friday. Yeah, and we'll probably go get live again sometime this weekend as well. If not a public stream, definitely one for the channel members. And yeah, I was on Chillmonger's stream last weekend, but I think his stream got copy struck or something, so he went ahead and it got blocked, so he had to take that down. And he went ahead and he did a makeup stream. If you're not already, go check out my man Chillmonger. Absolutely great stuff. His channel's blowing up. And he's doing a very good job. Make sure you go check him out. And let's see. Okay. Aglax says, Picard was amazing, Mike. Oh, yeah, because Mike says Picard 3 finale was incredible. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a Trekkie. Look, I'm a nerd, not a geek. I'm a nerd, not a geek. I'll admit it. It's okay. Feel free to like what you like, enjoy what you enjoy. That's good. I know plenty of people out there like my mom. She grew up. She was a Trekkie. Do they still call them that? I'm not. I don't know. Aggressively Relaxed says, in this new High Republic book, Cataclysm, there is a Jedi that makes dad jokes that reminds me of you, Mike Porter. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Hope everyone's having a good Friday night to Star Wars MCU-OG. We hope you're having a good night as well. Aglax, to me, it's the most underrated finale ever, of course. You have to be a Next Generation fan to appreciate it. All right. Yeah. So much exciting Star Trek coming, says Aggressively Relaxing. And I want to thank Aggressively Relaxing. You know, the other day, he obviously watched a live stream I was doing one of the last times, and made a suggestion when we were actually watching another live stream, and we kind of hijacked the chat a little bit by chatting back and forth with each other. But one of the things he wants me to do is, one of the things I've recently started to do is I've started to read Marvel Comics Superhero Secret Wars. The first one, the original. I recently got the omnibus of it not too long ago after it was solicited in previews. I actually had the trade paperback of it, and I may end up giving that away to one of our channel members as well. But I did... I have been reading through that. I haven't got all the way through it, but just some of the things that I had seen and that I had read and even knew about this, a little bit that I knew about the story kind of going into it. I actually had some thoughts and ideas of things that could be coming up in the upcoming MCU movies, where they are going to be obviously doing Secret Wars, something that they have already announced. But his suggestion was he'd like to hear some theories based off of the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars. And I own that one too. I just haven't got a chance to read it yet. I think that's the one I got, right? But I haven't got a chance to read it yet. But as soon as I'm done with that one, I will give that one a read, check it out, and see if there's a little bit more that I can extract from it. Because I'll tell you one thing I definitely like doing is going back and reading some of those old comic books, man. Like, there's nothing like the classic stuff. No longer do I read any of the current Marvel or DC. I don't read much DC. I'll admit I don't read much DC. I don't read any of the current books that they are putting out. And look, I know there's some people out there maybe thinking, like, yeah, all that woke garbage. And you know what? Like, just calm down. Take a seat. Like, not all of it's woke, you know, but I will say some of it's, I wouldn't even say garbage necessarily. Some of it's just like, some of it really feels uninspired. And even if it is, some of it just doesn't really tickle my fancy. You know, like the recent Moon Knight run that was being done by, was that McKay doing that? I think it was Jed McKay, maybe, who was doing that one. And I I wasn't really into it. And the artist who was doing the art inside of it, it just definitely wasn't for me, man. Like, bring me some Bill Sienkiewicz art, right? And some Doug Mensch stories. Yeah, that's what I need. Some of that classic shit, man. That's what I really, really want. You know? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Yes. So, Lucas Texvenger says, hey y'all, I'm back. I'm going to rewind and start from the beginning. All right, hey, we're not too far in yet. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And you know what? Actually, maybe I need to Star Trek, Mighty Eclipse, Star Wars, MCU, and DC combined. All right. Well, you know what, guys? Give me 1 second. I've got to go. I've got to leave the studio for a quick second. I've got to go step into another section of our big studio here to grab something just really quick that I'm gonna need, because I forgot my water here. And in case you guys don't know, I flap my gums enough that I definitely need something to keep these vocal cords fresh. Give me just a second. I will be right back in less than a minute. There we go. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, and I know somebody was timing me. Was it over a minute? I don't think it was. But let me know down in the comments below. Feel free to beat me up. So, this week we did have the season finale of The Mandalorian. Now, I know there's plenty of people out there talking about this show. Everybody has their opinion on it, and hey, I'm gonna tell you mine. And because you guys know me, I'm a guy, like, I'm one of those people out there who's like, hey man, enjoy what you enjoy. If you like it, good for you. If you don't, that's great. I don't really care. We should all have our own opinions. You shouldn't have to fit into somebody else's little box or fit their, however their feelings are about it. It seems like that's so much of what goes on these days. People, like I was saying earlier, like the negative reactions and stuff like that. People get so invested in what these other people say and their opinions of it. I mean, you guys know that, I'm one of the Nerdvengers. I hang out over with Josh over at the Den of Nerds. And, he brought a lot of us together, even plenty of us nerds that are here in the chat. And, I get on there and I watch his live streams, and it's so funny. So many people get so upset about just the things this guy says, like, because he's watching Star Wars, and people are like, oh, you said you weren't going to watch Star Wars and talk about it ever again. What the hell? Like, people can't change their mind. Is that what it is? Like, you make one statement, and when you make one decision, like, you can't change your mind. Is that where we're at? Like, you're not allowed to change your mind or anything. That's just how it is. Like, especially if based off new information, or maybe based off of a new show getting ready to come out. Regardless, everybody, you should form your own opinion. And, while you're doing that, don't forget it's okay for people to have their own opinion and not agree with you. It's perfectly fine. perfectly fine, except for you, Aglax. I know you're going to be out there being a contrarian to me, you son of a bitch. But I love you. I love you for it. It's okay. But the season finale was this week, and I gotta tell you, like, overall the season, it just didn't feel quite right for me. It didn't hit as much as the first couple of seasons did, and this is one of those shows that I definitely think has some very strong points to it. I mean, I think it's probably some of the best thing that Star Wars has done in quite a while. I mean, certainly, if you guys know my opinion, I think The Force Awakens was a good movie. I could watch that movie like right now and enjoy it and think like, man, I love this movie. It's a good movie. But, you get into The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, and it's... I feel like Pat. Right? Remember Pat, right? Anyway. So this season, I think this show is one of those shows that kind of has the expectations of a lot of fans of, kind of hitting that mark and maybe filling that void of, like something new and something fresh that we've been wanting. Jon Favreau is in his third season with this show, and I gotta tell you, this season it didn't quite hit the same. One of the biggest things for me is the fact that it's missing Ludwig Göransson doing the score for the show, and I know there's people out there that feel differently about this, but believe me when I say, and I talked about this the other day, is the musical score for a movie, a TV show, or anything like that really helps set the tone for a lot of things going on outside of just the visuals and the acting that are going on. And for me, I noticed it was it the episode before? It must have been the episode last week. There was just certain points where like the score just really didn't match the tone or didn't even create a tone for the show, and I think it's really something that's been missing over this week. Like, even if you hear the music, like the theme music they're basically using his music, but it sounds like they're even remixing it a little bit, and it just don't sound the same. And I think that's one of the biggest things for me coming out of this season. Now, the other thing is, I mean, it's not for lack of talent on screen and people's acting ability. I mean, I think a lot of the actors who are in this show do a great job. And especially in this season, we got Katie Sackhoff, who has come in and done an absolutely great job portraying the character of Bo-Katan Kryze. And I thought she did really good. Now, when she first showed up in season 2, I remember how horrible that wig looked, and just her, it just seemed all a little bit off. But this season, I mean, maybe after what they did there, maybe some training and different things going on, but they got the wig right, and I think her acting really brought me into this. And I think that her acting, she did really good, and she actually made me a fan of this character in this season. I don't watch the Rebels show or whatever show it was that she was a part of. I don't watch all that stuff. I don't watch all that stuff. But I thought the character was absolutely great. Now, the only thing is, I really do feel like the character herself actually kind of overshadowed the Mandalorian in this season, and I think there's probably reasons for that. I mean, there's plenty of backstage drama and things like that, but it really started to focus. It seemed like it shifted a little bit more focus on her, which I think is just fine. I mean, the Mandalorian I think is absolutely cool. I mean, obviously Pedro Pascal just doing the voice acting mostly. He don't show his face, which is kind of a point of contention, and they have other people behind the mask most of the time. And I think I think the show did focus a little more on her this season, which I think is just fine because it is called The Mandalorian. And hey, at this point, which Mandalorian are we talking about? But one of the things I did like is them showing a lot more of Mandalore and the Mandalorian culture, where in the first couple of seasons, it was more focused just on Din and his kind of interaction within that world and outside of it, just doing what he does. And then here we got a little bit more of that Mandalorian stuff. Now, while I think all of that stuff was cool, there was also points where the season just went in some different directions, and it kind of leaves one scratching their head about what exactly is going on here as far as some of the things going on, because there's no real context afterward. Like, it led to nothing when you think about what happened with what was his name, Dr. Pershing, and then the girl who used to work for, yeah, it was like some of that stuff, like I don't know what that was. You know, they went to Lizzo and Jack Black to go there and meet with the other Mandalorians. It's like there's just like so many little things here that just really felt. I can't even say filler. Because I really like using that as an excuse for something. But there's just so many things that happened in the season that really felt sort of unnecessary and probably didn't need to be there. It seems like there's a little bit more fluff in this season than there was in previous seasons. But altogether, I mean, I thought the season, it was okay. It definitely had some high points, particularly like in this last episode. There was some great action scenes and things like that, except for, like... I really thought it was kind of funny when they went into the scene where right after Din gets saved, right after he gets saved by Grogu in his little Krang outfit, and they're going through and they have to do like the Darth Maul thing with, they got the walls there, the little shields, and R5 has to go and disable the shields one at a time. Din don't have a weapon, and he's sitting there, and it's just like a video game, right? It was just like a video game where he has to go through each one, beat a couple of guys, get a weapon, move to the next one, beat up those guys, get their weapons, move to the next one, beat up those guys. Hey, and you got enough weapons to go and face Moff Gideon. Which I thought was kind of funny. I mean, again, the show overall, it was okay, just not as good as the previous seasons were. Like I said, it definitely had some highs and certainly some lows. I think one of the biggest lows for me was in this last episode when we got to the point after Din got there to face, you know what? I can't even skip over that. What was with the thing? What was with Moff Gideon's clones? He goes in there to kill the clones. Like, he goes in there and he pushes a couple buttons and the fucking pods just explode. Like, what the shit is that? Like, he didn't shoot him up or anything like that. He pushed a couple buttons. They're all psh, psh, psh. And I'm like they had a self-destruct button on there. Like, they had a button like you just, hey, like, push this button and this shit'll blow up. And Moff Gideon's fucked. Like, how's that work? It seemed a little silly. But then he goes and he faces Moff Gideon, who, I think some people out there are speculating there's a clone. He didn't have a mustache, He didn't have a mustache anymore, like, I guess they don't have Dollar Shave Club for in a galaxy far, far away, right? They don't have they can't shave. Regardless, he goes to face Moff Gideon, which, Moff, he was kind of he was a formidable opponent for Din, and then, and then Bo-Katan came in to save him because he had to go save his son. His son Grogu, that I hoped was going to get the shit kicked out of him and murdered by the Praetorian Guards. You let me down, Jon Favreau. You're supposed to save us. You're supposed to defeat the Sith, not join them. Why couldn't the Praetorian Guards have just went in there and executed this little son of a bitch? It would have made me happy. You know what? Like, I think if they would have killed him off with those Praetorian Guards, I think I might have been able to say, you know what? This season was great. And I'm happy. But, I guess we can't all get our happy ending. But overall, I thought it was it was an okay season. And I gotta say, like, one of the things I actually seen somebody on Twitter saying, I'm not sure if you guys know who the Gold Man is. I actually seen him put out there a tweet where he's like, hey, I haven't heard anybody bitching about the volume or anything like that. Like, was it just that good, huh? And, just about, people bitching about it and it being limited to Star Wars TV. And you guys know me, if you've watched me here, is I've been bitching about the volume since they started using it. It looks like shit. The Mandalorian is probably the best instance they have that it actually looks decent. But there's just so many scenes where it doesn't look that great. But I think in The Mandalorian, a lot of times they get away because they, especially when they're in towns, they use some of those smaller sets and you can't see their little TV screen lit up behind them. But I think this is definitely the best use that they ever get out of the volume is in this show. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it's something that they need to, and they're using it on TV shows, which is fine. But I think that maybe that's no, just use it for something even more low budget. But they use it in far too many movies, and it just looks like trash. You guys know how I feel about the volume. I don't like it. Don't want to see it. Just stop it. What was wrong with the green screen? I see people here on YouTube that make better use of green screens than they do with their little LED screens in the volume. Stop it. But let me know what you guys think about The Mandalorian season finale down in the comments below. We'll get into that really quick, and then we'll get on to some of the next things that I want to talk about here. Okay, so let's see. I see we've got Felicity Poubelle with a 20-month member super chat. Says, no Grogu hate. No Grogu hate will stand from such a toxic male. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. And don't get me wrong. I don't completely hate Grogu, but like, come on. We got to move past this thing. I know. They've got to, it's merchandising. Merchandising. Okay, so let's see here. Where are we at here? Where were we at? Okay, so let's scroll back up. There we go. Star Trek, Mighty Clip, Star Wars, MCU, and DC combined. Oof. Man. That's a statement. And sorry, I'm eating my nuts. I'm eating some almond caramel clusters. Yeah, yeah, absolutely great stuff. You can find those down in the description of this video. And go visit the Peanut Peddler, a distributor for the Mountain Fruit Company. Absolutely great stuff. Go order some stuff up. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. We got Lucas Texvenger with a 25-month member chat. Says, I'm here for all the merc. The merc? All right. Oh, merchandise. All right. Merchandising. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Eric the Guapo says, the big two have produced a lot of turds these past 7 years, but the indie publishers have been producing gold. Have you read Vanish or Grimm? I haven't read Vanish, but I have heard that people say, have heard people saying that it's actually a pretty good book. I haven't read it, but I have been reading Grimm. And I gotta say, when it comes to Grimm, I've read quite a bit of Stephanie Phillips' indie work, and I think she's pretty good when it comes to her indie work. I haven't read any of the stuff over at DC or anything like that she's done, and I know she's been doing quite a bit. But I do like her. I have followed quite a bit of her indie work, and I think Grimm is probably the best series that she has done, the best writing that she's done in her career so far with Grimm. And I think it's been a pretty good series. And I think once they started this second arc. It seems a little slower moving, but I also think that's because this series was originally planned only to be like 5 or 6 issues, and then they decided to go ahead and get more. But yeah, I think Grimm's been a pretty good read. I think Grimm's been pretty good. And Flaviano, I do like Flaviano's art in it as well. Flaviano, in case you don't know, also did the art for Black Widow No Restraints Play, the series written by Jen and Sylvia Soska, an absolutely great series, one of the best series that Marvel Comics will ever put out. Absolutely great stuff. Probably their last great one. Just being honest with my opinion. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, Aggressively Relaxing says, we are still Trekkies. Yeah, for me, it's clearly telegraphing doing a G-rated Hickman, artificially creating a weight of history to a big MCU event in half the time by using the old Marvel movies. All right, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep hydrated. Definitely. I got my hydration right here. Eric the Guapo says Star Trek is nothing more than Dune with training wheels. Mike Porter says The Mandalorian was great, but the Next Generation reunion was extra special. All right. Oh, and that's been in the Picard stuff, right? I know I heard somebody saying something about that. Like I said, I don't watch it, but I do know I've heard people talking about that, where they've got a lot of the some of that cast from the Next Generation on there. Nice. Oh, we got Justin, Star Wars Marvel purist in the building. How are you doing, Justin? I hope all's going well with you. Aglac says Mandalore is free. Just doesn't let me chat because I'm not a subscriber. I don't think he always has the subscribers only thing on, does he? Just subscribe to the channel. So it's okay. It's okay. Oh, man. Snyder Cut! What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about the Snyder Cut? You know, I never watched that. I never watched the Snyder Cut of the Justice League. I never did. Never got a chance to watch it. I think it's still on HBO. I mean, I probably could. I just haven't watched it yet. Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah, it is. Yes. Yep. Eric says the Snyder Cut was worse than the Whedon Cut, and the Whedon Cut was absolutely terrible. Yeah, I haven't watched it. Like, I'm not a huge Snyder fan, but I mean, he's got some decent stuff. Like 300. You know, that movie in which Gerard Butler just ran around looking all buff and shit, screaming. Yeah, it was a good one. I think it's a pretty good one. But I also like kind of the moral of the story and the things going on in that movie too. So yeah, just got back from seeing Mario with the kids. Nice. You know what? I've heard it was a good one. I think even Maverick Pilgrim was in here the other day, said it was actually good, and him and his family enjoyed it as well. So I need to get my kids to see that one very soon too. Yeah, heard Mario was great. Yeah. Mike Popcorn Porter says Josh has a narrative. He wants people triggered for clicks. Yeah, he's a fan like all of us, but he knows what he's doing. Yeah, he does. He does. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Mike Porter. You're not wrong. You saw the light? Good for you, says Felicity Poubelle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you know, at some point you got to do you got to do what you got to do, I guess. You got to do what you got to do. And now I'm not saying that, you know, I think he still expresses himself in his own opinions and stuff, but does he play it up? Yeah, sure he does. Of course. I mean, I think any good YouTuber does, you know, especially somebody who has made a career of it. Like he has. Like me, I haven't made a career of it. I do enjoy doing the live streams, making videos and things like that. But it's obviously for me, it's not my career. And if it was, I'd probably lean more into some of those things. But, you know, for me, it's just doing what I do and being honest with myself, being honest with you. Sometimes that means me being triggered and being upset about some silly shit. And sometimes it means me making fun of people for being triggered and saying some silly shit. We got Brian Mccann in the building. One of the other Myrtle Maniacs says, Trinity, you bought turtle wax. Yeah, I did, actually. I did. I was able to afford it today. Aglax says, my theory about Josh is he's a clone of Tim Pool that didn't come out right. What the hell? Oh, Aglax. StarWarsMCU-OG says, yeah, the further widening the divide between fans, great gig, grifter's gonna grift. Yeah, well, and I think that's one of the things. Like, I'm not really sure that there's people that do that. Like, if you're widening the gap between fans, I mean, I think that's ultimately just fans. It's really just fans doing it themselves, because you either like somebody and what they're saying, or you don't. You hate watch them, you love watch them. However it is, for me, like, I can stand the guy and like his delivery and stuff like that, and he's fun and entertaining. Where there's plenty of other people, like I even said on Twitter the other day when somebody was Ripaverse Goalposts made a tweet out there about, you know, just some of the silly shit that people critique, and like they were talking about Geeks and Gamers and Ryan Kinnell. I'm like I don't watch any of those guys, the Geeks and Gamers guys, or anything like that. And it's not because I don't like them. Like, I actually agree with some of their opinions, but for me, it's a lot of the delivery and stuff like that. For me, it's just annoying, even when I agree with them. You know, it's just like, to me, they're just annoying. And some of them I can't stand to listen to for more than 2 minutes. It's just like really like just not my thing, not my vibe. Though I will say, though I do agree with them, they're doing what you're supposed to do. They are catering to their audience and what their audience wants to hear. And even people that aren't their audience, that are their audience, they're catering to them too. Because what are the people that don't like what they're saying and hate watch every one of their videos because they're fucking weird? What are they there for? They're there to get triggered and hear this asshole get them all riled up, right? That's what they're there for. That's what they do. They're good at it. I'm not going to fault anybody for that. Again, for me, it just don't tickle my fancy, where, the Josh thing does. It's a little bit better. Like, I can handle his delivery and stuff like that. Like, to me, it's a little more enjoyable. And that's fine. If you like the other people, I mean, it's fine. Like, I think it was funny because I think Josh was talking about this in the members only stream today. It was like he was talking about watching some of the different videos from some of the other creators, and he was talking about like Nerdrotic, like Gary. Like, I agree with a lot of his opinions, but like a lot of times I just can't watch his videos. I'm just not really into it. Like even EVS, right? EVS, like I think EVS is funny as fuck. That dude cracks me up, but it's very tough for me to watch his live streams and videos. Like I gotta see like the little snippets a little bit at a time, and I can handle it because the dude he cracks me up. Like he does, right? But like, look, I'm not gonna say anybody's an asshole for watching these guys or that they're wrong or anything. Like, hey, enjoy what you enjoy, right? I'm not gonna fault you for that shit. Go enjoy it, or go hate watch it, whatever. It's on you, right? Get in where you fit in, or don't fit in, and be mad about it. Which sometimes I think that's even like sometimes that's what makes it entertaining is when you see the people in there that are all triggered or on Twitter that are all triggered and pissed off. It's like, dude, like, why do you care that much? It's funny. Okay, all right. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of like I'm not necessarily sure that like content creators necessarily widen that gap as much as the gap is already there. And it's just that the fans are already divided in that way, and they really only help establish the fact that it is divided in that way. And that's okay. But it's certainly not for everybody. Justin says, whether people like Rogue One or the Batman, I think most people can agree that Michael Giacchino is a pretty damn good composer. Yeah. I mean, I think so, and I even think when he did that Werewolf by Night, I think that was excellent. Probably some of the best shit they've done on Disney Plus with any of the MCU projects. I think Werewolf by Night was fire. I've watched that one several times. Felicity Poubelle, she's saying what's up to Mike Porter. Lucas Texvenger says, oh, okay, I just saw Mike Porter's comment and had to fast forward. What were we talking about? At this point, 8:37. Man, I was like 20 minutes. Man, I'm that far behind already? Dang. Brian Mccann says Rogue One sucked. I thought it was pretty good. I thought Rogue One was decent. I could watch that one again. I actually own it. I could watch it again. I just haven't in a while. It's talking about the score. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, the score. Yeah. Lucas says how Josh just like to just like to hype shit up and talk about how awesome it's gonna be, then just shit on it after he's seen it. I know, right? Well, you know what? He went to film school, bro. He went to film school. Which I think is funny, like he says that. And like some people get so pissed off, like I see people comment about that shit. To me, it's just so funny, man. Like fuck it, like the internet, and it cracks me up, man. The internet wins every time. It makes me laugh. I love it. Oh yeah. You got to spend time introducing us to Grogu's future mom, Mandbo. Yes. That was just a one night stand. Din and Grogu had to dip out back to Navarro. Yeah, they did too. They did. So they could Anyway, that's, yeah. Different story for a different time. Give the Mandalorian his enchanted suit. No. Come on, Disney. She needs powers. Rectal blasts. You know, I actually thought, I was saying that the other day when we were watching the finale. I'm like, man, I need to get me a Mandalorian suit. Like the Mando suit. Like I need the fucking shiny Beskar and shit. I'll fucking walk into Renaissance Fair like clickety clack mother. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. I think the suit looks sick. I think it looks cooler than Boba Fett's, but I mean Boba Fett's cool too. I just like that. Maybe it's because it's all silver. I know it's not silver. It's you get it. You get what I'm saying. I like it though. I like it. But no enchanted suit. We don't need any of that Cinderella shit around here. That's why I love coming to these streams. We still feel like a community and family over here. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned Kang, Trinity. You can actually look back through all the Disney Star Wars movies, shows, books, and comics, and they are so creatively bankrupt. You can find so many similar alterations stolen from pre-existing IP. Oh, right, yeah. And I think that's fine. With the Krang thing. I mean, I think it's okay, paying homage or anything like that. Like even like it went a little far. I mean, it's kind of cool to see that they did it like in that one episode of Mandalorian where it was all like it's basically like Blade Runner and shit. Like, I mean, it's kind of cool to see that aspect, but for the most part, like everything that's going on there, like, is this really necessary? Does this need to be in this show? I don't know. I think there's plenty of stuff. I mean, I think they put plenty of fluff in a lot of these shows that they could easily cut out, but they've also obviously got to spend money. Yeah. Oh, Aglax says they're in love, Felicity. The Doctor and Jack Black showed both sides of the rehabilitation program. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Oh man. They were so in love he left and got his own place on another planet, right? Absolutely. Simple Sparrow. My man Max, what's up, man? I hope all's going well with you. Oh, man. Okay. I've heard people who don't like season 3 of the finale of Mando. For people who don't like the season 3 of Mando, of the finale of Mando, and I thought it was just everyone's opinion. But after hearing Trinity make fun of Moff's clones is making me question everything. Yeah, I don't like. I thought it was weird. Like, you just push up a button. Like, what are you doing? Back in the day, in the original, people mad at Star Wars behind the scenes fan fiction. Filoni was a villain. He got retconned recently as being a good guy, and the new being mad at Star Wars canon. Yes. People are so fickle, right? So wishy-washy. I can't believe people actually change their minds about stuff. Lucas says, I love the whole season of Mando. All right. Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I mean, I don't think it was all great. I think it was decent, though. I think it was decent. It was decent, I mean, like I said, there's just certainly some highs and lows. Let's have more Ewok films and TV series. I feel like I need that Justin Timberlake gif. How about live action droids, please? Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't that kind of the point of that episode I was just talking about? Droid rights. Droid lives matter. Can I just get a documentary series on the life of Salacious B. Crumb? I know, right? Yes. Yeah, that'd be funny. Droids can focus on not talking on a non-talking droid. We never know what it is saying. It does a thing, saving the day each episode. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mario was great. Definitely recommend. All right. Yeah, and like I'm not really into a lot of the games and stuff. I haven't played a whole lot of them. Me and my kids haven't, but I'm sure we can still go watch it and have a good time. I'm sure you can still go watch it and have a good time. I hate Mario. Film was great though, says Brian. All right. Felicity says everyone on YouTube is a grifter. You just gotta find those people that are genuine like Trinity. Well, thank you, Felicity. I appreciate that. And yeah, you know what? I think one of the things is I think that's probably the hardest to find is because so many, like I said, so many people like to play things up or downplay things, and you know, like just be honest. Just be honest with yourself. Be honest with the people, and it's all good. And realize that people aren't always going to agree with you. You might make some people upset, and you know we can't all like the same things. It'd be nice if we could, but one thing we can do is be cordial with each other. When we can debate each other, we can disagree and still be friends, right? We can disagree and still be friends. Absolutely. Oz from Buffy the Vampire Slayer is 50 now. So is Willow the Nerd Witch. Okay. I don't know what that is. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to me is Christy Swanson, but that's just if you ask me. I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar was okay, but wasn't she? I think. I don't know. I know they still got comic books of it still hitting the shelves. Still got comic books. Eric says, I'm with you on Geeks and Gamers. I agree many of their points, but they are perpetually whining and rarely have anything positive to say. Yeah. Well, you're going to get me triggered with the positivity word. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying is at some point, and people even will, I was saying, that's the thing, is people are really starting to say this about Josh. Like, dude, like, there's got to be something you enjoy, right? Something. There's got to be something that you enjoy. Something that you like. Like, sure, I mean, you can think that overall this season or this movie or whatever is shit, but there's got to be something within it that you like. There's got to be, right? Like, doesn't there? I don't know. And surely, and look, I don't think anybody's going to call you, say that you're wrong or make fun of you or anything if you're willing to admit that. If you're willing to admit that there's something that you like, you know? I don't think if you shit on everything and all of a sudden you say, you know what, I actually like this. People are going to, but then again, some people do. Some people, look what happened to Robert Meyer Burnett the other day. Like, he made, like, he was, you know, enjoying some shit, like, about the Star Trek something, and then he said something, and all of a sudden, people are calling him some sort of fucking racist, fucking whatever, all this bullshit. Like, bro, you didn't like an episode. What's so wrong with that? I don't get it. It's clown world we living in these days, man. Where you can't just have your own opinion. You gotta agree with mine. Oh, man. He went to the Art Institute just like I did. Oh, yeah. 2nd Street Mando? Absolutely. This is the way. Yeah. That Timberlake gif is my favorite. It fits so many. It does. Just like my J. Jonah Jameson gif, right? It's the same thing. You can use it for just about anything. You can use it for just. I mean, if you're shaming somebody, they said something stupid you don't agree with, just. Or if they say something that's like just like so outlandish and hilarious, you're just like. Oh, bro, Josh loved Rise of Skywalker till he started doing Theory Show. I don't know, did he? I don't remember that. You know what? I swear this son of a bitch told me. I swear I heard him say before that he God, what was it? He liked. Yeah, I think it was that he liked James Gunn, and then all of a sudden, not just because of the James Gunn thing, but like he was starting to lean in the whole don't like it stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you say you liked this shit before? I'm pretty sure you said you liked this shit before. Now you're saying you don't. Yeah, I don't know. Trinity is just jealous of Ewoks and their hair. Confirmed. Yeah. That's funny. All right. So, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is I want to get onto this whole thing a lot of people are talking about, and I would probably I've been meaning to do a video talking about this, but Jonathan Majors. What do you guys think about this whole Jonathan Majors situation? In case you guys don't know, I'm sure everybody here does, about Jonathan Majors and the altercation he had with his girlfriend in New York City, where he ended up getting arrested and subsequently getting dropped by just about everybody. He's had commercials, things like that, pulled out not being aired. Some of his shows he's being recast in. Some of the other movies and things not moving forward. Obviously, going with the MCU and what he's going to be a major part of the MCU. Here through these next couple of phases, a lot of that is really just seemingly kind of crumbled under his feet due to this altercation with his girlfriend, and he was arrested. Now, feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about the situation, what you think about it. I know one thing that we all know is innocent until proven guilty, and that's perfectly fine. Like I believe that he's innocent until proven guilty. However, in the court of public opinion, that's not quite how it works. A lot of people have already wrote this guy off and said that he's done. And a lot of that is also due to the fact that these companies that he is working for and involved with have pretty much done the same thing. Now, I do think that like if this would have happened 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the situation would be a whole lot different. But the speed at which information flows through social media and the internet these days, things happen so fast. And this guy is pretty much guilty in the eyes of these companies, even though he's not been proven guilty or anything quite yet. But the way all these things move and the kind of money that these companies have invested in him, it's something that they usually take action on pretty quick, unless you're Ezra Miller. And, a lot of that has already gone on. A lot of those decisions were made the second that he got arrested. And it is a very unfortunate situation all the way around, especially if he gets proven innocent and cleared of, I wouldn't necessarily say any wrongdoing, but if it turns out that he is pretty much innocent of the things that he's been charged with, it really is a shame. And I know there's people out there talking right now about like, hey, if he gets found innocent in all these companies and this and that, they need to start. I was watching E-Man's reviews earlier. Like they need to put him, and I've heard other people say the exact same thing. These companies need to put his commercials back on. They need to get these movies back out. They need to get him back in the MCU and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? These days, it just don't work that way. The damage is done. The damage to his reputation. Other people have come forward apparently with some of their stories. The damage is already done for his career. To his career, not for life. Now, one of the things I was saying the other day is it would almost be better off if this court thing had already happened. He got convicted or not convicted. Either way, and at this point, it'd probably just be better if he just got found guilty and it can move forward. Because then, look, people love a comeback story, especially Americans. Don't we love that comeback story? It makes you feel good seeing somebody make a comeback. Look at Britney Spears. She's had a few of them. But it would almost be better if he had been found guilty or everything right off the bat, so we could already put it behind him and move forward. But at the point they're at right now, he is pretty much in legal purgatory, and definitely at a point with a lot of these companies where they don't even want to touch him and have anything to do with him. And I do think that's unfortunate because, as I said, there is innocent until proven guilty. Now, the one thing I do want to say is, Chillmonger was doing a video the other day where they were talking about this situation and some of the things going on. And it's something that I heard not only on there, but I've heard in so many different videos and a lot of things that people are talking about when it comes to this Jonathan Majors situation. And the one thing is, everybody's pointing out like, oh, he hit a woman and you shouldn't hit a woman and this and that and blah, 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 whammon, this and that, shouldn't hit whammons and all this stuff. And here's the thing, and I even put this big old long comment on Chillmonger's video the other day, here's the thing, sure, don't hit women, right? You shouldn't hit women. I mean, but you have a right to defend yourself. We don't know, I don't know the situation. I don't know everything that went down. But here's the thing, you have a right to defend yourself. Now, one of the other things, in case you guys, don't know, the non-aggression principle, it's not that hard to follow, right? If you're defending yourself, I mean, at times you're going to have to defend yourself. You may have to defend yourself, and that's perfectly fine. But in the first place, I mean, you're trying to do everything you can to avoid that sort of situation from happening. If you ask me, you shouldn't be putting your hands on anybody. If he was gay and he had a boyfriend, am I supposed to feel better about this situation if he hit his boyfriend and assaulted his boyfriend? Is it better for him to have hit a man over some text messages from another man or woman than it is for him to hit a woman? Now, if you ask me, I think it's the same thing. Could the man take it a little bit more? Yeah, sure. I mean, I think not all men, certainly, but I think generally men are stronger or tougher than women. And that's not to say women aren't strong or tough. They certainly are. But I myself don't feel that it's any better if it was a man that he hit or any worse that it was a woman he hit. The thing is you should keep your fucking hands to yourself. You're getting in a fight over fucking text messages. Is it okay if I just go and start beating fucking people up because I got a text message they didn't like? If my wife gets a text message from some other man, like, is it okay for me to go hit her? You know, same thing. If I had a boyfriend, is it okay if I go fucking hit him over that? Am I supposed to think that it's okay? Am I supposed to think that there's supposed to be a difference that he hit a woman? Now, I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, it's no. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. It's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to do. And when it comes to this situation, that's one of the things a lot of people are blowing up and making a big deal of, you know? And to me, it's no different if he would have hit a man over the same thing than he did if it was a woman. Now, the thing is, like, if they were squaring up, going toe to toe, you know, like somebody's the aggressor and somebody's going to hit first. And that's not to, or, you know, try to hit first. That's not to say you can't defend yourself. I do believe that you are and can defend yourself if you feel like you are being threatened and there's that threat of violence and you feel that you have to take action in order to keep yourself safe, right? And that's just if you ask me. It's just it's part of this situation. I've seen so many people talking about and everything. I'm like it's some point of contention that, oh, you shouldn't hit women. You shouldn't fucking hit anybody. What's so hard about that? Is there something so hard about that? Let me know how you feel down in the comments below. Let me know if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I am. You know? Maybe I am wrong. Maybe it's okay for a man to hit another man, but not for a man to hit a woman. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But you let me know how you feel down in the comments below. Again, I think the damage to this man's career, whether he is innocent or guilty of this, has already been done. And even if he's found innocent, even if he's innocent, I guarantee, I feel like it's going to be even harder for him to make a comeback if he is innocent. Because do you think that any of those companies out there are going to give a shit? Do you think any of them are going to say, oh, we're so sorry, Jonathan Majors. Do you want your job back? Do you want to come back to us? I doubt it. I really do. I almost feel like it would be better if he was guilty so he could get the shit over with and go on his fucking comeback tour already. People are very forgiving when it comes to stuff. People do like to see those comeback stories. But again, that's just if you ask me. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I think the damage is already done to this man's career no matter which way it goes. And it's going to be tough for him to make a comeback either way. But let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will get into and read your comments. Okay, let's see. Picture Ewoks on Eden hunting and killing troopers. Troopers nervous about that. That could be cool. Yeah, I'm not saying it couldn't be cool. They could make it cool, but like honestly, I don't trust Disney to make that cool at this point. Let the judge and jury figure that out. We don't know the evidence. I can't judge people based off of stuff he said, she said. Yeah, exactly. It's all hearsay right now. Yeah, it's all hearsay. innocent until proven guilty. However, if I'm a corporation that has taken many L's recently, I would move away from him too. That is reality. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Felicity. And I think that too. And you know what? And sadly, that's the unfortunate part of this situation. And that really all has to do with the court of public opinion and social media in the way in which this all this information and everything moves so damn fast these days. Yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home was great. Where are we at? There we go. How about that one?
Stop it. Stop it.
All right. Lucas Texvenger says it's crazy how on top of the world you can be, and the next day it's all gone. I agree with Justin. I can't have a real opinion on the situation until all the evidence is presented. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know what? And that was one of the other things I even put in my comment on Chillmonger's thing. Like, look, man, especially if this guy's innocent, but even if he's not, right now, think about the situation right now. And believe me, I've been in a situation like I'm not like this. I mean, I didn't beat a woman and like my whole life got flushed down the toilet. But I mean, a situation in which you're basically ostracized and everyone drops you like a bad habit and has nothing to fucking do with you. Wants nothing to do with you. Like, especially if he ends up being innocent of it all. You got to think this man's on top of the world. People throwing fucking money out. He's getting all these gigs. Everything's all good. But the second this one thing happens, everybody's dogpiling you, everybody's dropping you, and you basically have nowhere to turn. Everybody's turned their back on you. You have no one. You might have some friends and family there, and that's great because you're going to need a support system, but where is everybody else? Where's all those people who were ready to give you those accolades and do all these things? It's crazy how fickle people are and how quick they're willing to turn their backs. And that's just a terrible place to be. He got friends and family there, but where's everybody else? You know, where's anybody else that wants to have anything to do with him? Like, that is not a very good place to be in, mentally and psychologically, with regard to some of those things. And it really does make me feel bad for the guy. Even if, like, honestly, even if he's guilty, you know, even if he's guilty, I mean, look, he did something bad. It's not like he fucking did like some super terrible shit that's unforgivable. But he has nowhere to turn to. No one to turn to. No kind of support system there other than his friends and family. And some of them, you know, even if they, you know, especially if they think that he's guilty, probably don't want to have to deal with it. And I can guarantee you it's a lonely fucking place. And I feel for the guy, especially if he's innocent of it all. And yeah, it's a messed up situation. But yeah, it's crazy how quick it just all gone. Just all gone. Just like at the drop of a hat, the snap of your fingers or what have you. Yeah. Absolutely. Felicity says, look at Justin Roiland's situation with WB. Was that Warner Brothers Discovery? He was fired shortly before he was found innocent, even though the charges were 2 years old. This was an excuse to fire him, probably because he was an a-hole. Yeah, and you know what? I don't know a whole lot about that situation, but from what I heard, the charges basically got dropped just due to lack of evidence of anything that happened. That doesn't mean that any of it didn't happen. I don't know the guy. I don't really know the situation, but for me, I mean, if there was not enough evidence, I mean, maybe they just didn't have evidence. They couldn't necessarily prove it. I mean, it's not what I know, it's what I can prove, right? And that was one I heard, and I just kind of looked into it a little bit. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. That one's tough. That's a tough one because, I mean, maybe all that stuff did happen, and maybe he was deserving. I honestly have no clue because the plaintiff obviously didn't have enough evidence, but the damage was done, right? And that's kind of where, especially in a situation like that, that's where it lands at. Like, okay, it's completely he said, she said. He's I mean, he's technically innocent, but did he really do anything? Fuck, I don't know. I wasn't there. And that's the thing when it comes to a lot of this stuff is a lot of times we don't know when we weren't there. And I mean, maybe he did do all that shit. Maybe he didn't. Like, I really don't know. Lack of evidence. I mean, that don't prove that he didn't do it. Certainly don't prove he did. Right? And again, when it comes to a lot of the situations, it just becomes tricky. It just becomes very tricky. And people, as I said, people are fickle, and definitely these companies are fickle when it comes to a lot of that stuff. And like you said, when all this shit happens, the companies are like, whoop, we've got to protect our interests. And I can't blame them for that. But sometimes I do kind of feel like, can't you just put things on hold? With the MCU, isn't there plenty of other things they could do besides working on projects that involve Jonathan Majors until this kind of gets found out? Until we get to that conclusion. I mean, but I also understand they've got to move forward. They've got plans and they've got shit to do too. And again, it's just all these situations are always kind of messed up in that sense, especially if you're a big profile, celebrity, because of the court of public opinion and, just social media and things. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, I agree with that. Assault is assault. Yeah, exactly. Notice Alec Baldwin wasn't shamed for manslaughter of a woman on set. He was to blame. Period. Accidental killing is manslaughter. Yeah, absolutely. Notice Alec Baldwin didn't get the Hollywood canceling for ending the life of a woman. Guess she needed a trans woman to count. I'm not gonna touch that one, but yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he was drugged through the dirt and ousted in that way. And that was another thing I commented in Chillmonger's thing too. Everybody likes to act like everything is like, oh, it's racism, the Jonathan Majors thing. And look, I definitely think there's a huge element there. I don't think everything that's happened to him because of that is due to racism. Not all of it. I think there are people out there who are ready to and all, basically ready to hang the man, and you just have nothing to do with him due to that. And I certainly think that it affects a certain amount of people's bias. But I don't think it was all due to that, and certainly people out there. And look, I get it, especially if you're black, because you see a lot of these things going on where people are like, man, people always just trying to tear down a black man. And look, I get that, but I don't think it's always that either. But I definitely think when it comes to this particular situation, there's definitely an element to that. Whether people want to admit that or not, I do think there's still that element to it altogether, especially because he's a black man that hit a white woman. Well, like I said, to me, it could have been a white man, a black man that he hit too. To me, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just keep your hands to yourself. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. Let's see. When you get famous, you have to be selective about your actions and the people you choose to surround yourself with as well. You'll see the same people on the way down that you did on the way up. Fucking 100%. Absolutely. No comeback for Will Smith because of his entanglements. Yeah, man. And that's another tough one, man. And you know what? And that's the thing is people are actually giving Chris Rock a hard time about this shit. What the fuck? In some situations, no fucking winning. Seriously? Yeah. Chris wasn't even the aggressor, and people still call him out and talking a lot of shit to him. Come on, man. Come on. The guy made some fucking jokes. Is there a joke out there that's so harsh that you need to go fucking punch somebody or slap them across the face in the middle of a fucking award show? What is that? Man. It's got to be internet culture and the way that it is fucking changed people's fucking brain and their psyche and being able to fucking handle shit. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And that's not to say that I've never been in any altercations in which I've hit any. Like, believe me, I've been in some fucking fights, and most of them, typically me having to defend myself. But that's another conversation altogether. That's another conversation altogether. But yeah, I mean, just keep your hands to yourself. A guy said some mean words, mommy. It hurt my feelings. Yeah. But yeah, Will Smith, man. And look, I understand the headspace in which Will Smith was at that time. I understand. I get it, but still wasn't smart. And even, I think I seen that report where somebody was somebody in Hollywood was talking about it wasn't the fact that he went up there and hit him, is what he did afterward. He fucking left this award show after giving a speech. Like, he's fucking holier than thou, and then he goes out fucking dancing and having a good time. Like, yeah, man, I just fucking slapped Chris Rock on TV. I beat the shit. I slapped that fool so fucking hard. Let's go fucking get jiggy with it. Like, what are you doing? You should have just went home and fucking thought about what you did. Thought about how stupid you look, how stupid you feel. I'm not against people getting up in their feels about shit. I think we've all done it. But I think most times when somebody does something that foolish, you feel foolish. And you kind of don't want to be around other people. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm not an egotistical actor. But yeah, if it comes out as a chance to forget. I'm not even touching that, Brian. Airspider23, thank you so much for being here. But Justin says, yeah, agreed, Felicity. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. William Moloch says the Red Pill community is about to be making the most toxic content if he wins this case. Yeah. Absolutely. Agreed with that, William. Let's have a Wakanda TV series starring Manape. That guy was awesome. Manape, you mean? Wait, is Manape? Isn't that? What's his name? No, that was. Never mind. I'm thinking of the guy who was, yeah, in the movie. Yeah, but yeah. Let's see. Brian Mccann says, let's bring back Agents of Shield, Deathlocks of Shield series. That could be cool. Like, I like the Agents of Shield, series. I like it. William Moloch says, it's dope that Disney is even giving him a chance to clear his name. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I mean, I think they have time to put things on hold and pause for this to sort of let it play out. Now, they don't have a long time, but I think they've certainly got time to put things on hold. They've got so many movies and properties that they could be working on. And I will say one thing too, and this was another thing that I kind of I feel about this whole situation too, is like with the MCU with regards to Jonathan Majors and Kang and everything they're doing there, is like, I do feel like they put far too much investment and focus into this one character to be in so much shit. They lean too hard into that for the next few phases, for something like this to severely affect what they're doing. And I think they tried to lean on that too much. If you go back to the Infinity Saga, the first 3 phases, Thanos was hardly in it at all. The first time we seen him, like, really, was in Infinity War, right? That's really the first time we seen him. Before that, it was just a little bit here and there, like little sprinkles. He wasn't in everything. It was the build-up to it. It's like with the Kang, they're just like, oh, let's fucking just put him in and just fucking throw him in everything. I think it's too much too fast. Too much too fast. Bring it back. Bring it back a little bit. Just bring it back. We can slow that down. You've got other shit you can concentrate on. You got other properties and franchises within this franchise that you could work on besides focusing everything on Kang. And it can still deal with Kang in the same way they did in those first few phases. Allude to him, to what he's done. You don't have to show Jonathan Major's face at all. You just gotta say Kang. You don't even have to say that. You just have peculiar shit going on. Huh? What? Not that hard. They did. How they managed to do it in the first 3 phases? Oh yeah, they had good writers. But yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of them should like give a person time to go through it. Like clear their name or be convicted. Either or. Absolutely. Random Brad Creator, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. Seen you over in Snowdub's stream a little bit earlier before I started here. Thank you so much for being here. Random Brad Creator, my man. William Mohawk says, he's a big black man that is accused of hitting a small white woman. Yeah, exactly. Internet culture made people think you can't get a pop in your mouth on stage in front of millions of people while hosting an awards show. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is you shouldn't. I mean, I see no reason why anybody should get fucking assaulted for making jokes. Like, look, I don't give a fuck if there's somebody standing in front of my face insulting my wife and me or my family or anything. I'm going to tell them, fucking stop. Grow the fuck up. Unless they do something to put me in danger where I have to defend myself, I can blow the person off and say, you know what, dude, like, you're a fucking idiot. I don't care what you think or say about you can say all you want. If you want me to hit you in the fucking mouth, you're going to have to put me under some sort of threat. Now, I do understand what you're saying, though, where the internet culture has made people think that they can just get away with anything. Certainly. I watched this video the other day on, it was a clip that Goose Wayne, I'm not sure if you guys know who Goose Wayne is, put on his Twitter the other day, where he's sitting there on this live stream with this kid. I can't remember what the kid's name is. He's got a YouTube channel, and like the kid said, you know what, like went on and said, you know what, like fuck you, I'll kill you and your family and all this bullshit. And he just left the stream, and it's like okay, like dude, what are you doing? Like you're threatening somebody's fucking family? Like what is that? Like that is somebody that probably needs to be in an altercation at some point and have something happen to him, Certainly people have got that internet bravery, but just because somebody's saying mean things, like, doesn't mean they just, they need to be fucking punched in the mouth. And like I said, I mean, there's certainly times when people do deserve it, I think it's very situational, and it really just kind of depends on what's going on, but for the most part, I mean, I also think people need to learn to fucking keep their hands to themselves. Like I said, I'm not so sensitive that somebody's words are gonna get me so pissed off that I just want to fucking get in a fight with them. But that's how a lot of fights start, also, right? So, like I said, I mean, it's not a perfect situation, but for the most part, I mean, I think a lot of those situations can be avoided. But that's not to say that you don't still confront a motherfucker. Like I think people definitely need to be confronted. For sure. Definitely. But I don't think what happened to Chris Rock, I don't think he was deserving of that. I don't think he was. But yeah, certainly Romeo in the building says, some people deserve a slap in the face with a chair thrown by the Hulk. Yeah. Some people do deserve it. Yeah, absolutely. And also I do think there's a time and a place for it. And Will Smith, like, doing what he did, definitely not the time. Could have been the place, though. I mean, he could have waited till after Chris Rock did his little thing, after he said, keep your wife's name out your fucking mouth. Yeah, he could have said that and let it go, let Chris do his fucking thing. And then after the show, got in the motherfucker's face and been like, hey, What you got to say now, little man? Certainly. Absolutely. And at that point, you better let your security guards and shit handle this, because this is between me and you. Now, what the fuck you got to say now? I think there's a difference. I mean, yeah. Like I said, time, probably not. Place, probably so. Because the time to handle it is still there at that place, not let it linger. But walking up on stage and doing it, definitely questionable. They should have treated King like they treated Thanos. That would have worked better, and they could have pivoted easier when something happened, like now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think they still could. I mean, they could easily just go off and say that Ravonna was actually the Prime Kang or whatever, and go on with that. But I know people get mad because the whammons. But I mean, it's just. I think there's other things they could do if things turn out for the worst. If things turn out for the worst, there's plenty of different options that they have that they could do, for sure. Yes, and cheers to you, Random Brad. Romeo says, to all internet trolls, Jay and Silent Bob will find you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Karn, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. Hey, you were the one commented on my video the other day. Says, also, Will Smith was laughing at the joke. Jada should have just done the same. The whole point of bringing in a comedian is to just humble a pretty lucky crowd of people and entertain the audience. Yeah, well, and for me, that's one of the things anyway. Like, look, if you're gonna be mad about the situation, you can confront the motherfucker behind the stage, whatnot. But like, to me, that's the thing is like, he's a comedian telling jokes. That's not to say that they're not going to be offensive or that you're not going to be offended or that you're going to like them. I mean, certainly plenty of comedians tell jokes that aren't funny, and plenty of people tell offensive jokes that, yeah, like, sure, you'd probably get popped in the mouth if you said that to somebody's face. But I think there was enough distance there to think about it before you do it. I think there was. I don't think there was any excuse for that to happen right there. Right there. Like I said, wait till after he's done with his little spot, walk backstage and be like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. Time and a place. There's a time and a place for everything, right? They recast Thanos for Infinity War. What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, because I mean, like, Josh Brolin was the voice. Like, he was the voice the whole time, wasn't he? He was the voice the whole time, wasn't he? I think Thanos wasn't cast. It was just someone as a stand-in at first. Oh yeah, you mean like the original like CGI thing? Because yeah, I mean, but I think Brolin did do the voice of him. You know what? Yeah, because I think in the first Avengers, that's what you were talking about, right? In the first Avengers, when he was there and they kind of showed him. Yeah, I think you're right. That probably was a different person. I'd have to go back and check the credits, but yeah, I don't think that was Brolin. It was Brolin at the end of which one was it? Where he grabs the gauntlet and says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Right? That was Brolin. But before that, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah. Kevin Hart is Kang. We need more humor. You know what? I think something that the MC definitely don't need is more humor. They probably need less of it. And the humor they do have, it's got to be good. And that's one of the things with this upcoming writer's strike. Maybe all those, remember the last writer's strike was in like 2007? Maybe, I think that really seems to be around the timeline when everything went wrong, when shit went wrong with a lot of these shitty movies and shows we get nowadays. Is like, maybe after this strike, we can get some good writers back. Maybe all the shitty ones can go bye-bye. Kevin Hart as Batmite. There you go. But yeah. What was the last thing I wanted to talk about today, guys? Was the the elitists on Twitter, right? Have you guys been following, everybody, like the blue check mark? So many people have been upset about this. And I think it's just silly, you know what I mean? But I've seen people on Twitter getting so upset about these blue check marks. I seen recently, apparently Jason Alexander, George himself, was trending on Twitter because he decided that he was going to leave Twitter because he lost his blue check mark. And you see so many people talking about, like, oh, it's not a big deal, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And, like, I see people on there, talking about, people are going to die. People are going to die because they lost their blue check mark. People aren't going to know real journalists. People are going to impersonate other people. And, like, to me, it's the silliest fucking thing. And I even seen people online on Twitter talking like, I've seen a few people like, oh, I'm going to start blocking anybody that has a blue check mark, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, it's really not that big a deal, is it? I don't think it's that big a deal to block people. Like, what if they're a fan of yours and you're blocking them just because, like, they decided to pay for fucking Twitter Blue? You're going to leave the platform because you don't have your little status symbol anymore, and it just, I think I've been tweeting about it the past couple of days. It's just so fucking funny seeing this fucking whole the elitism of these people that had their blue check mark. They lost it, and now they're like, oh, they're losing it. And I mean, I think some of the people, like, oh, I'm gonna block people, like, I'm pretty sure some of them are joking and speaking in jest, and and that's fine. And maybe people can't take a joke, and that's fine. But the whole thing where like there's a little bit of truth in every joke, right? And I do kind of feel that's how it is. A lot of people are obviously upset about this, and to me, like, maybe it's because I don't have a blue check mark that I think it's absolutely fucking crazy that people are getting this upset about it. And again, I don't think everybody's like, but it's just so funny that you see all these people that had their blue check mark and it was a status symbol, and I seen a tweet where like oh, any noteworthy people don't even want a blue check mark anymore. Like, okay, like, you're full of shit. They do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be upset. They wouldn't be leaving. They wouldn't even be making jokes about, like, oh, black people, I have a blue check mark. It's not that big a deal, bro. It's the internet. Look, we know who you are. Somebody trying to impersonate you, it's pretty easy to figure out that some dickhead that's got 20 followers that says that he's Jason Alexander and has a profile picture of Jason Alexander. It's pretty easy to see somebody that has fucking 20 followers as compared to fucking 200,000 or 1 million or what. It's not very hard. It's not very hard to find out who's who if you're not an idiot. If you can't figure out who's really the real Alyssa Milano or the real fucking whoever, then you're probably the same kind of idiot who fucking falls for those emails that people get all the time with that prince who just wants to give you all kinds of money because he can't cash his check and he needs your help. You've got to be that guy. You've got to be that guy if you can't figure it out. I got it. Like I said, just this shit's so weird and fucking crazy. Like, people, just get a hold of yourselves. Get a grip. Like, the shit's not that serious. It's not that serious. Trust me. I'm not gonna like you any less or unfollow you because you don't have your blue check mark anymore. Hugh Jackman still has his. He paid for it. I wonder if these people, these elitists that are going to block everybody that has a blue checkmark now is going to block Hugh Jackman because he decided to pay $8 for Twitter Blue. I haven't seen Elon make a tweet about they're going to start a fund. They're going to start a fund to get some of these celebrities the blue checkmarks back. Oh, man. I don't know. I think it's funny. It's one of these other things that people are so up in arms about. It's like, bro, fucking calm down, man. Fucking take a seat. Like, look, I find it entertaining. I'm going to laugh and make fun of your ass still. But, like, calm the fuck down. Just, it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. People are gonna die. People are gonna die because I don't have my blue check mark. You know what it's gonna be like if BuzzFeed don't have... Oh. Never mind. Oh, man. Williams says Avengers Age of Ultron was the movie said he'd... Okay. And that was the one where he was... Brolin was first in, right? Where he did the voice. Because, yeah, in that first Avengers... the first one when he was actually in there when the other was talking to him, that wasn't him. I don't think that was him at that point. Yeah, this is how you know people don't have real problems anymore. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Felicity. Absolutely. Couldn't you just buy them? I'm not gonna I'm not on the place long enough to know what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, you talking about the blue check? Yeah, it's $8. It's $8 a month. You know? Yeah. Twitter banned an account that was made to just block people with blue check marks. Really? That's funny. Like, what? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's fucking Thunderdome now, man. Fucking Twitter cracks me up. And I think it's so much, like, look, it's so much more enjoyable than Facebook. Like, I haven't been on Facebook in a long time. It's just, yeah. I think Twitter just seems to be where the most fun is at. Maybe it's because, like, my friends aren't on there. Like, I don't really see my friends get to interact with them on there. Yeah, that's probably it. Because Facebook kind of got annoying in that way where I see people posting about how proud they are of their kid because they got an award at school for perfect attendance. Oh, wow. Your kid's doing what they're supposed to do and going to fucking school every day. Real proud of them. What? Come on, man. Come on. And then also, you know, getting on there, like, some of the stupid shit some of my friends... Like, look, I always got on there and had fun and fucking fucked with a lot. And that's the other thing, too. Like I get pissed off when people call me a troll, like, on, you know, like, here on YouTube and fucking Twitter when I leave comments. Like, look, bro, like, I'm not a troll. Like, if you want to see me troll, if you want to see me troll, I guarantee you I'm going to piss every motherfucker off. I piss my fucking friends off because I would fucking troll them and shit. You know, like I get them fucking good. Like, they be fucking heated and shit. Like, and that's where I figured out I really started to figure out how social media has just really just broken people's fucking mental faculties down to just like this fucking like, and they don't even realize, right? But if motherfuckers don't want to see me troll, like, I'll piss everybody off. Motherfuckers be mad, and people will fucking Will Smith my ass. Because, like, if you want to see me go on a troll, like, I'm fucking God level troll. And I don't have to do that stupid shit that you see people on Twitter fucking doing trolling. I fucking, yeah. Yeah. It's not that hard to do. But yeah. Oh, weird. Okay. Elon made a comment about how he is paying for certain celebrities to keep their blue checks. Right. Yeah, that's funny. Like, what? And you know, some of them are like, well, why can't you pay for mine? Why'd you take mine away? It's fucking funny, man. Trinity, have you read The Word of Tom Cruise's Lord and Savior, Ron L. Hubbard? Yeah. No, but you know what? Those commercials, those infomercials for Dianetics back in the day, they were always intriguing. When I was a kid watching those, I'm like, you know what? I want to read Dianetics. What's it all about? Yeah. Twitter was birds chirping. Now it's vultures tearing themselves apart, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're back, Max? You're back? They see me trolling. They hate. Yeah, Trinity is completely a troll. Confirmed. Yeah, but believe me, I could troll if I want to, man. Like, I'll make some motherfuckers mad. Oh man. Yeah, you just realizing this? Oh man. Oh, Trinity and trolling is an enchanted Beskar suit. Yeah. Yeah. You got me. You got me. But guys, I gotta bring this stream to an end. Thank you so much for being here today. Channel members, I think tomorrow we are definitely going to do a live stream. Probably, I'll probably make it sometime probably after Chillmonger stream tomorrow, so probably afternoon for you. Because there's some things I want to talk about regarding my past members stream, and yeah. And one of the things I'll tell everybody here that's watching right now, and anybody watching this public, is I'm being laid off from my job tomorrow. Being laid off from a job. It's a part-time job, and it's a part-time job. It's like I still got my business and like other shit like that. But yeah, I'm getting laid off from a job tomorrow. I'll talk a little bit more about that on our members stream tomorrow, because if you guys are here and you are channel members, I did a stream a few weeks ago talking about just some shit just dealing with at work in the first place, and I've got actually some more stuff to go along with that, and we'll also talk a little bit about what exactly is going on with me losing my job tomorrow. And yes, I'm still going to go to work knowing that I'm going to get there tomorrow and they're going to lay me off. It's fine. It's fine. It's not the first time it's happened to me. But anyway, regardless, I'll see you all tomorrow. You all have a good day. Have a great rest of your night. Go out there, watch some good movies. You're going to have to watch old movies if you want to watch a good one. But you all have a very good day, and we'll see you, if you're a channel member, tomorrow in a live stream. If not, probably Monday for everybody else. You all have a great rest of your evening. Be safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.